should participate. And part of participating is speaking up about where you want your tax dollars to go. And I don't want my tax dollars to go for death. I want my tax dollars to go for life, for the promotion of life.
Now, you're out here in front of some of the biggest defense contractors here in the country. Now, I saw some signs talking about the war in Iran. I saw some signs talking about drones. When it seems like there's a pretty good consensus in this crowd that everyone is against that. But in your sense, why is it that you guys are targeting these companies specifically? What sort of influence do they have on those issues of Iran and on drones?
Well, they're the weapons manufacturers, and weapons manufacturers know that we need war in order to be profitable. So they buy Congress. And it's such an odd circle because we pay our taxes. Our taxes end up subsidizing and paying corporations like Boeing and Raytheon, and then they turn around and take that money and bribe Congress to make sure that that cycle keeps going. And I'm object to that. I don't feel like there's a lot people can do except one thing, and that's something I learned from Reverend James Lawson, who was with Martin Luther King in the 60s. And at the beginning of the Iraq War, James Lawson said, we feel helpless. What can we do? Our government doesn't listen to us. And he said, the one thing any human being can do is stand up and say no. So I'm here saying yes to no.
Now, Maureen, warfare is changing in these days. Now, some of these manufacturers used to make huge jets. Now they're creating these minuscule drones that can surveil all over Afghanistan, Pakistan, Yemen.
And the United States, by the way. What I heard from someone in Oakland is that the Oakland City Council has just approved the police department's request to replace helicopters with drones. Now, why do you need drones against your citizens? That's a military weaponry. That's in opposition to the Constitution, which calls for posse comitatus, which means your police department is not your military. And we've lost that distinction.
Yeah, but you make a very good point. I mean, these drones that are being used abroad are all of a sudden going to be...
Well, and they're used abroad as well. I mean...
they're being brought home to use on United States citizens. When things like this are happening, I mean, what should regular Americans be concerned about? Because the police or the military will tell you, oh, you have nothing to worry about. Is that really the case?
Well, I think Americans have to start learning how to think. And you have to look at your media and say, gee, 98% of this is owned by whom? The corporations of America, the corporations of the world, actually. It's globalized. And so when you have these interlocking directorates where you have agriculture, war profiteer industries like Boeing, the insurance industries, the pharmaceutical industries, weapons manufacturers, all of these work together. They're all on the same boards. There's only a handful of several hundred people who sit on exactly the same board. I mean, they sit together with the same people on a variety of boards, whether it be pharmaceutical industry or be a media company. So we don't have information. Thomas Jefferson said you must have an informed, participating public to keep a democracy.
The lady with the blonde hair over there was filming us earlier.
Population, because people have got to start thinking.
And now I'm filming her.
And they don't think. People don't think. And part of that is we're all on the one major drug in this country, which is known as television.
Now, Maureen, just finally, I mean, this is a very targeted action. We're here at Bowen, Raytheon is next door, Northrop Grumman, a lot of defense contractors here in this corridor. But, I want to ask you why you would target such entities at a time when the argument is made by Congress that they are job creators. I mean, they are keeping so many Southern California families
employed. They are not job creators. My sister was a teacher for 17 years in Oakland. She has lost her job. Everyone that worked with disabled adults in education programs nationally has lost their jobs. I'm a nurse. I am retired from LA County Public Health Department. Public health is dead, over, finished. They've closed every clinic that I worked in. So, jobs? No. Jobs are what people do in their everyday communities that need to be done. I mean, look at our unemployment rate. It's unbelievable. We are outsourcing. Since the time of Reagan, when we started subsidizing the outsourcing of jobs to other countries, you and I, our tax dollars pay to subsidize creating jobs in India. Why is that? I have a daughter who's a new lawyer. She can't get a job. 46,000 jobs, law jobs, were outsourced to India this year. Nobody's safe. We're outsourcing surgery jobs to other countries. You know, insurance companies are selling.
Well, what does it say about things then when, you know, this is the only industry that is really growing right now? Because when it comes to government